I never thought the whistle's final shrill would echo like a death knell in my soul, ripping me from the only world I'd ever known. "You're done." "Hayes," Coach barked, his face twisted in disgust as the locker room fell silent. Every eye on me like I'd just confessed to treason. In that frozen heartbeat, I saw my dream shatter. Years of blood, sweat, and stolen kisses, because loving a man meant I wasn't man enough for his field anymore. The rain hammered the turf like it was trying to drown out the cheers from the stands. But nothing could wash away the sting of that afternoon's practice. I was Joshua Hayes, star striker for the University of Michigan Wolverines. The kid who'd clawed his way from a rundown trailer park in Flint to the brink of a pro contract. At 22, I had scouts buzzing, teammates calling me J-Dog with that mix of awe and envy, and a secret that burned hotter than any goal I'd ever scored. Alexander Reed, Alex to the world, but my Alex in the shadows was the reason I woke up every damn morning ready to run through walls. We'd met freshman year, both walk-ons fighting for spots on a team stacked with legacies. He was the quiet midfielder from Seattle, all lean muscle and sharp green eyes that saw right through my bullshit bravado. Our first real talk was after a brutal loss to Ohio State, huddled in the equipment shed during a storm that mirrored the one raging inside me. "You play like you're carrying ghosts," he'd said, handing me a water bottle slick with rain. I laughed it off, but he didn't. That night, over greasy diner fries in Ann Arbor, we spilled our truths, him out to his liberal artsy folks, but closeted on the team, me buried so deep in denial I could taste the dirt. By dawn, his hand in mine felt like the only anchor in a sea of chaos. But secrets like ours don't stay pretty. They fester, they leak, they explode. It started small, a teammate catching us sharing a too long glance in the weight room. Whispers about that vibe between us rippling through the dorms like smoke. I brushed it off, doubled down on the bro-code facade, slapping asses after wins, pounding beers at frat parties, dating a sorority girl named Becca for cover because Coach Harlan, big, bellowing Harlan with his Bible quotes and traditional values rants, watched us like hawks. "This is football. Boys," he'd thunder in film sessions. Not some feel-good fairy tale. Man up or get out. I thought I had it locked down. Until the night of the homecoming bonfire. The flames licked the October sky, casting flickering shadows on faces flushed with victory boos. We'd crushed Penn State 3-1. My hat tricked the stuff of highlight reels. Alex and I snuck away to the edge of the woods, the party's roar fading behind us. His lips tasted like cheap whiskey and home, his fingers threading through my hair as we pressed against an old oak, hearts slamming in sync. "I love you," he whispered, fierce and raw, like he was daring the universe to strike us down. I pulled him closer, murmuring it back, the words of vow etched in the chill air. We didn't hear the footsteps, didn't see the silhouette until a flashlight beam sliced through the dark like a knife. "What the hell is this?" The voice was gravel and fury, Tommy Vance, our linebacker, the team's enforcer with a chip on his shoulder the size of Texas. He was drunk, red-faced, phone already out. "Holy shit. Hayes? Reed? You're fags." The world tilted. Alex shoved me behind him, chin up like he was facing a blitz. "Back off. Tommy. It's none of my business. You're screwing up the team." Tommy's laugh was ugly, venomous. He swung the light wild, capturing frozen frames, my flushed face, Alex's protective stance. "Coach is gonna love this. Wolverines ain't no rainbow parade." I lunged for the phone, but he was bigger, faster. "Delete it, you prick." My voice cracked, panic clawing up my throat. Alex grabbed my arm, steady, always steady, but Tommy just sneered, stumbling back toward the firelight. Sweet dreams. Lovebirds. See you at practice. The video hit the team group chat by midnight. Blurry, damning pixels that turned our hidden world inside out. I stared at my screen in the dim glow of my single dorm room. Alex pacing like a caged wolf beside me. We tell coach first, he said. Voice tight. Own it. He's old school. But he's fair. Fair. God, that word haunted me. Harlan had recruited me personally. Seen potential in a scrawny kid from the Rust Belt when no one else did. He'd yelled at me, pushed me, molded me into a weapon on the field. But fair? In a sport where toughness meant straight, white, and silent? Morning came too soon. The sky a bruised gray over the big house. Practice was hell, eyes darting, murmurs dying when I jogged onto the field. Harlan pulled me aside after warm-ups, his meaty hand on my shoulder like a vice. My office. Now, the room smelled of stale coffee and old leather. Walls plastered with championship banners and faded photos of gridiron greats. He didn't sit, just loomed over his desk. The video paused on his laptop screen like evidence in a trial. Explain, I swallowed. Tasting bile. Coach, it's me and Alex. We're together. In love. It doesn't change how I play, how I fight for this team. Love. He spat the word like it was poison. His face purpled, veins bulging. This ain't love. Hayes. This is weakness. Distraction. You think the boosters, the alumni, the fans want their star queer? Football's about brotherhood. Tradition, not this. Perversion. The air sucked out of the room. Alex waited outside, but I was alone in that moment. Harlan's words carving deeper than any cleat gash. I've given you everything, I choked out. For years. Blood on that field, and now you're poison. He jabbed a finger at the screen. Pack your gear. You're off the team. Effective immediately. It hit like a blindside tackle. No appeal. No second chance. Just gone. The Wolverines, my family. My future, stripped away because I dared to love a man. I stumbled out, vision blurring, straight into Alex's arms. He held me as I shattered, right there in the hallway, sobs racking my body like convulsions. We'll fight this, he whispered. But even then, I heard the fracture in his voice. Words spread like wildfire. Teammates texted apologies laced with awkward distance. Sucks. Man. But rules are rules. Tommy? Radio silence. The coward. Protests erupted on campus. Queer Alliance kids chanting outside Harlan's office. Hashtags like Justice for Hayes trending locally. But Harlan doubled down an oppressor. All folksy charm. Personal conduct matters in a team sport. We stand for integrity. Integrity. The hypocrisy burned. Alex and I holed up in his off-campus apartment. A cramped one-bedroom overlooking the Huron River. Plotting our next move. He was still on the team. Harlan hadn't touched him yet. Maybe to avoid a full mutiny, but the strain showed in his hollow cheeks. The way he'd flinch at every notification. Apply for the draft, he urged one night, curled against me on the sagging couch. You're too good for this small-town bullshit. The MLS Super Draft was months away, but whispers from scouts kept coming. Heard about Michigan. Tough break. Kid. But talent like yours? It'll shine. I nodded, but doubt gnawed at me. Who'd take a distraction? And Alex, stuck playing for the man who'd gutted us both? Then came the call that changed everything. It was a crisp November afternoon, leaves crunching underfoot as I jogged the arboretum paths to clear my head. My phone buzzed, unknown number. DC area code. Joshua Hayes? This is Elena Vasquez, U.S. Soccer Federation. We're interested in trialing you for the national pool. I stopped dead. breath fogging in the cold. The U.S. Men's National Team. America's squad. Not some minor league grind, but the real deal, World Cup dreams. Global stage. After everything, she laughed. Warm and no nonsense. Everything's why. We need fighters, not yes men. Your tape's electric. And Harlan's stunt? It's lit a fire. You in. My heart thundered. This wasn't just redemption. It was revolution. Hell yes. I hung up, dialing Alex before the screen went dark. I'm going national. His whoop echoed through the line, pulling me back to life. For the first time since the bonfire, hope flickered fierce, unyielding, like the boy who'd first laced up cleats in a potholed lot back home. But hope's a fragile thing in a world built on grudges. As winter dug in, training camps loomed, and the shadows of betrayal lengthened. Winter in, Ann Arbor bites harder when your world's on fire, or in my case, reduced to ash. The national team trial was set for January in Florida, a sun-soaked escape from Michigan's gray shroud, but getting there meant navigating a minefield of fallout. Harlan's dismissal leaked to ESPN, framing it as a tough but necessary call for team unity. Pundits debated, was it homophobia or hardball? Pro-gay voices rallied. Hayes is the victim of a bygone era, while the old guard grumbled about woke agendas ruining the game. I didn't care about the noise. I trained like a man possessed, borrowing the university's empty field at dawn, my cleats carving ruts in the frost-kissed grass. Alex snuck out when he could, passing cones and cones, his encouragement a lifeline. You're unstoppable, he'd say, wiping sweat from my brow with his sleeve. Our touches brief but electric, stolen in the blind spots of security cams. But the team had turned on him too. Tommy and his crew iced him out. Benches cleared when he entered the locker room. Traitor by association, they called him in hushed tones. It gutted me, watching the light dim in his eyes. One night, after a grueling solo session, we collapsed onto my dorm bed, his place too risky now, with prying eyes everywhere. The room was a mess of protein shakes and crumpled rejection letters from agent after agent who'd ghosted post-scandal. Why aren't you fighting to stay? I asked, tracing the scar on his knuckle from a childhood skateboarding wipeout. Harlan's bluffing. He needs you. Alex's laugh was bitter. Hollow. Need me quiet. I confronted him after your meeting, told him it was bullshit. That love doesn't make you less of a player. He rolled toward me, his breath warm against my neck. He said if I didn't end it with you, I'd be next. Choose, the team or the fairy tale. Rage boiled up, hot and righteous. That son of a... I chose you. His words hung there, simple and shattering. We kissed then, slow and deep, the kind that mends cracks you didn't know were there. In that tangle of limbs and whispered promises, I let myself believe we'd make it. Him transferring schools, maybe. Me lighting up the national stage. Proving Harlan wrong on the world's biggest fields. But life was a gut punch. The misunderstanding hit like a rogue wave. Courtesy of Becca, my ex-cover. The sorority girl with a grudge and a vindictive streak. She'd been radio silent since the video drop, but apparently stewing in silence. It started with a DM to Alex. Anonymous at first, screenshots of me and her from last spring, arms linked at a tailgate. Her captioning it, Joshua's real type? No rainbow here. Then the calls, voicemails from concerned friends claiming I'd cheated. That our bromance was just me rebounding from a messy straight breakup. Alex didn't confront me outright. No, he did worse, withdrew. Practiced glances turned cold. Texts went from heart emojis to one-word replies. I cornered him after a team scrimmage, the stadium lights buzzing like angry hornets overhead. What's going on? Talk to me. He shrugged. avoiding my eyes, unlacing his boots with deliberate slowness. Just tired, Josh. This. Us. It's complicated. Complicated how? My voice rose, drawing stares from stragglers. Because of some bullshit rumors? Becca's lying. I saw the pics. His tone was ice, edged with hurt. You two look cozy. And now, with the team falling apart, scouts sniffing around. Maybe you're right to keep options open. The accusation landed like a red card. Options? Alex, you're the only option. Always have been. I grabbed his wrist, pulling him into the shadowed tunnel. Hearts pounding in the dim echo. This is Harlan's poison, twisting everything. Or Tommy's. Don't let them win. For a second, his mask cracked, vulnerability flashing. The boy who'd first held me after the storm. Then it slammed shut. I need space. Josh. To think. Trial soon. Focus on that. He yanked free, vanishing into the night, leaving me gutted under the concrete arches. Space. It was a death sentence for us. Days blurred into a haze of isolation. Me pounding the treadmill till my lungs screamed. Him ghosting practices with flu. The campus buzzed with fresh drama. A queer rights rally drawing national eyes. Protesters waving signs. Harlan out. Love wins. I spoke at it. Voice steady for the cameras, but trembling inside. Alex's absence a phantom ache. Football's for everyone, I told the crowd. Fists clenched. Not just the ones who fit the mold. The rally clip went viral, boosting my trial buzz. Elena from USSF called again. You're a symbol now. Hayes. Own it. Symbol. The word chafed. I wasn't a poster boy. I was a kid fighting for a shot. But it opened doors. Nil deals from progressive brands. Invites to podcasts decrying toxic masculinity in sports. Money trickled in, enough to cover flights south. Florida hit like a fever dream. Humid air thick with salt and possibility. The National Training Complex a gleaming fortress of green pitches and high-tech gyms. I arrived wide-eyed, duffel slung over one shoulder, surrounded by legends, midfield maestros who'd starred in Copa America, defenders with World Cup tattoos. They clapped me on the back, heard about Michigan. Kid. Skreeuwing, nu jugming. Just respect. Coach Nowak, the USMNT gaffer, was a wiry Polish-American with a no-nonsense glare and a hidden soft spot for underdogs. Show me why Harlan's a fool, he said at check-in, shaking my hand firm. Trials were brutal, 5v5 scrums at dawn, endurance runs that blurred the horizon, tactical drills dissecting plays like surgery. I poured everything in, every feint born of Alex's late-night coaching, every sprint fueled by betrayal's fire. By week 2, I was starting lineups, threading passes that left jaws dropped. Whispers turned to nods. Hayes has it, but the high crashed mid-camp. A package arrived at the dorms, anonymous, postmarked Ann Arbor. Inside, a USB drive and a note in block letters. Truth hurts. Heart slamming. I plugged it in. Grainy footage. Time-stamped last fall. Me and Becca at that tailgate. Her leaning in close. My arm around her waist. Then, audio overlay. Her voice. Fabricated or not. Purring. Josh. Forget Reed. We're endgame. It wasn't real. Doctored. Obviously, the angle's wrong. Her laugh off, but to Alex? Devastating. A follow-up text from his number. Hours old, saw the drive. Knew it. We're done. Good luck with the team. The room spun. I bolted for the trainer's van. Coach yelling after me. But I was already dialing. Voicemail. Text after text. It's fake. Please. Come see. Nothing. The betrayal wasn't mine. It was Harlan's machine. Tommy's malice. Churning out lies to bury us. But the damage? Irreparable. A chasm widening with every unanswered ping. That night, I scored the winning goal in a friendly against a U-23 side. The ball rocketing past the keeper like a missile. The team mobbed me. Chants of USA, thundering. But victory tasted like ash. Alex was gone, transferred to UCLA overnight, per a curt email from admissions. Our love, the one pure thing in this mess, fractured by shadows we couldn't outrun. As camp wrapped, selection loomed. Nowak pulled me aside post-drill, clap on my shoulder. You're on the roster. Hayes. Gold Cup roster. Welcome to America. America. Not Michigan. Not the Wolverines. Team USA. The irony burned sweet. Harlan had kicked me out, thinking he'd end me. But from the ruins, I'd risen. Still, as I boarded the flight north, staring at the clouds, swallowing the sun, one truth clawed at me. Triumph without Alex was hollow. A trophy gathering dust in an empty stadium. Spring thaw brought green shoots to Michigan's fields, but my heart stayed frozen. Back in Ann Arbor for a quick visit, tying up loose ends before Gold Cup prep, I wandered the campus paths. Ghosts everywhere. The bench where we'd first kissed. The quad where protests had raged. The team season was sputtering without me. Harlan's face gaunt in press photos. His unity mantra ringing false amid losing streaks. Then, the call I dreaded. My mom, voice wobbling from Flint. Josh, Tommy Vance is in the hospital. Car wreck. Bad. He's asking for you. Tommy Vance. The name alone conjured venom, the flashlight glare, the leaked video, the whispers that snowballed into avalanche. Why me? But Mom's plea tugged at old loyalties. The kid code drilled into us on frozen lots. You don't abandon your own, even when they've stabbed you in the back. Tell him. Tell him I'm coming, I said, already rerouting my rental car from the airport. The drive to the U of M hospital was a blur of highway slush and radio static. Spring rain smearing the windshield like unshed tears. Tommy's room was ICU sterile, beeps and hisses underscoring the fragility of it all. He lay hooked to monitors, face swollen purple, one leg in a cage of pins. The linebacker bulk reduced to a shell, eyes fluttering open as I hovered in the doorway. Hayes, his rasp cut the hum. Didn't think. You'd show. I pulled up a chair, the plastic creaking under me. Yeah, well. Crashing into a semi tends to make a guy reflective. No wodoms, just truth. Nurses bustled past, oblivious to the history thickening the air. He winced, shifting. Listen, the video, the drive to your boy, wasn't all me. A cough rattled him, but he pushed on. Harlan. He knew. After the bonfire, he cornered me. Handle it, he said, or I'd lose my ride. Tommy's eyes, bloodshot and pleading, met mine. I was scared. Man, Dad's business tanked. Scholarships all we got. He fed me the Becca script, even paid some tech kid to deep fake it. Said it was protecting the program. The revelation landed like a thunderclap. Harlan, not just biased, but orchestrating the sabotage. My fists clenched, nails biting palms. You could have said no. Walked away. Tommy's laugh was a wheeze. In this town, with him pulling strings? Nah. But wrecking that guardrail woke me up. Seeing my life flash, regrets. All of them. You and Reed. That was real. Better than this poison. He fumbled for my hand. Grip weak, but earnest. Tell the team. Before it eats us all. I left that room changed. Fury a live wire in my veins. Harlan's integrity was a facade. A bully's playbook to cling to power. I drove straight to the athletic complex. storming the admin offices like a one-man siege. Security tailed me, but I was already spilling to the AD, emails, timelines. Tommy's confession recorded on my phone. This ends now, I said, voice steel. I go public. Gold Cups in 2 months. Imagine the headlines. The AD, a slick suit named Hargrove. Blanched. We'll investigate. Discreetly. Discreet got me expelled. I leaned in. Make it right. Reinstate Alex. Apologize. Or America's star calls out Michigan on the world stage. By evening, ripples hit. Harlan suspended pending review. A terse statement about conduct unbecoming. Teammates flooded my inbox, shock, support, a few mea culpas. But the real quake was Alex. I texted him the news, holding my breath. Hours ticked by, then saw it. UCLA's coach called, transfer approved back to Michigan if I want. Processing. Relief flooded me, but caution tempered it. Want to? I replied, fingers trembling. A pause. Then talk. We met at our old spot, the lakeside dock at dawn, mist rising off the water like steam from a fresh wound. He looked thinner, wind tousling his hair, green eyes wary but alive. Josh, he started, voice rough. The drive. I believed it because I was terrified of losing you to the spotlight, to normalcy. Harlan preyed on that. I stepped closer, the wood creaking under us. You think I'd trade us for that lie? Alex, you my normal. The words poured out, Tommy's truth. Harlan's scheme, the national call that felt empty without him. He listened, walls crumbling, until tears tracked his cheeks. I pushed you away to protect us, he admitted, but it nearly broke me. His hand found mine. Tentative. Then sure. Forgive. The kiss that followed was salt and sunrise. A reclamation under the paling sky. Not frantic, but profound, lips brushing like apologies, arms wrapping like vows renewed. In that moment, the world righted itself. Love wasn't the weakness Harlan claimed. It was the steel spine I needed all along. Michigan reinstated us both, me retroactively. Scholarship intact, Alex with a quiet welcome. Harlan resigned amid the probe, slinking off to some assistant gig in the heartland. His empire of fear crumbled. The team? Fractured, but healing. Tommy rehabbed into an advocate. Speaking at rallies, others stepped up, ally pins on their bags. Spring practices buzzed with new energy, rainbow wristbands. Open talks in the huddle. Football. Finally. For everyone. Gold Cup prep ramped up. Whisking me to Carson, California. The Galaxy's stadium, a colossus of promise. Teammates ribbed me gently. Michigan's loss. America's gain. And Nowak drilled us mercilessly. His pep talks blending grit with grace. This shirt, he'd say, tugging his Stars and Stripes jersey. It's bigger than one man's hate. We're proud. Alex drove out for the opener against Canada. The stand's a sea of red, white, and blue under LA's relentless sun. Pre-game jitters hit hard. Scouts from Europe in the suites. The weight of my story on every broadcast. But as I laced up in the tunnel, his text lit my phone. Score for us. Love you. Striker. The whistle blew, and chaos reigned. Turf flying. Boots clashing. The roar, a living beast. Canada pressed early. Their keeper a wall. But I danced through midfield. Alex's voice in my head. Find the space. Own it. At the 23rd minute. A through ball from Pulisic kissed my foot. I feinted left. Struck right. The net rippled. 1-0. The stadium erupted. Chants of Hayes. Hayes, shaking the rafters. I pointed to the camera, then skyward for Mom and Flint, for the kid I'd been, for Alex in the stands. Halftime blurred into strategy. Sweat stinging eyes, but the fire burned brighter. Second half turned brutal. Red card to their captain. Elbows flying. A late equalizer on a deflection that soured my gut. Extra time loomed. Legs leaden. When disaster struck. A corner piled high. Their defender clashing with our back line. My teammate, Weston, crumpled, clutching his knee. The whistle shrilled. Penalty. To me. Spot kick. The weight of nations on 12 yards of chalk. Keeper danced. Mind games. But I blocked it out. Alex's green eyes. Harlan sneer. The Docs missed. Deep breath. Run. Strike. The ball bulged the net. Top corner. Untouchable. 2-1. Final whistle. Victory. Pure and electric. We mobbed on the pitch. Stars colliding in hugs and hoots. The American eagle soaring. Postgame. Alex waited at the tunnel mouth. Our embrace lost in the scrum. His whisper. Knew you would the sweetest trophy. But triumph's shadow loomed. Weeks later, as friendlies ramped toward World Cup qualifiers, a letter arrived, Harlan stationery, forwarded from Michigan. Hayes, it read, scrawled in his blocky hand. Watch the game. You're good. But remember, talent fades. Values endure. No apology, just a barb wrapped in piety. It should have enraged me. Instead, pity stirred. The man who'd built walls around his fear, losing everything to them. I crumpled it, but not before snapping a pic for Alex. Old news, he texted back. We've got the future. Summer deepened. Qualifiers on the horizon. Mexico away. A cauldron of hostility. Training intensified. Bruises blooming like badges. Alex joined me in L.A. for a stretch, crashing at my extended stay apartment overlooking the Hollywood Hills. Evenings were ours, sunset hikes in Griffith Park, tacos from street carts, nights tangled in sheets, talking dreams till dawn. After soccer, he mused one twilight. Head on my chest. Maybe coaching. Inclusive teams. Change the game from inside. I kissed his temple. With you? Anywhere. It felt possible then, a life beyond cleats. Rooted in us. Yet the past clings like damp grass. A tabloid drop before the Mexico match. USMNT's gay star. Is he distracting the squad? Grainy pics of Alex and me at dinner. Headlines twisting our joy into scandal. Pundits piled on. Harlan anonymously quoted, "Told you so." The locker room tensed. Glances sideways. But Nowak shut it down in a team meeting. Anyone got a problem with Hayes? Speak now. Otherwise, zip it. We're family here. Family. The word healed old scars. We flew south. The Azteca, a volcano of 100,000 screaming souls. Air thick with mariachi and menace. Pre-game, I texted Mom, for you. Alex, for us. The match was war. 0-0 at half. Counters like lightning. My shins barked raw. Then, 78th minute, a turnover. My breakaway. Defender haul me down. Ref's whistle piercing. Penalty again. The crowd bayed for blood. Bottles raining. But I stepped up. Heart a drum. This one, for every kid hiding in the stands. Crack. Goal. 1-0. We held. Claude. 1. Ecstasy in the locker room. Beer spraying like champagne. Nowak hoisting me. That's America. Boys. Post-match presser. Mike's jammed. Joshua. The headlines, does it bother you? A reporter. Sly. I leaned in, unblinking. Bother? Nah. It's fuel. Love me or hate me. I'm here scoring for the shirt. And for every fan who sees themselves in it. Claps rippled, even from skeptics. Alex watched from the back, pride shining. That night, in Mexico City Hotel, we celebrated quietly, room service, his laughter against my skin. The city lights a constellation outside. But joy's fragile. Back stateside, a call from Elena. Congrats on the qualifiers. But roster spot for Qatar? It's tight. Harlan's allies in the Federation, whispers about focus. The high crashed. Betrayal anew, not from teammates, but the machine grinding on. Decisions loomed. Fight public. Risk the dream or swallow it? Play the good soldier? Qatar loomed like a mirage. World Cup glory or bust. The pinnacle every kid dreams of under backyard floodlights. But the Federation's whispers weren't idle. They were scalpels, slicing in my spot. Elena's update came laced with caution. You're indispensable on the pitch. Josh. Off it. They're testing. Harlan's network. Old boys in suits. Boosters with deep pockets. Push narratives. Distraction risk. Proof? None. Just echoes of an arbor's ugliness. I confided in Alex over FaceTime. His face pixelated from UCLA's fall semester grind. Fight it, he said. Fierce. You're not just a player, you're the story. Lean in. His advice echoed Nowak's on the narrative. I went public, an op-ed in The Athletic. Raw and unfiltered. Kick for loving a man. How soccer almost broke me. And how I'll fix it. It detailed Harlan's schemes. Tommy's redemption. The dockside vows. Football's my church, I wrote. But love's my gospel. Time to preach both. The piece detonated. Shares skyrocketed. Allies mobilized. Glad spotlights. Celebrity retweets from Megan Rapinoe. Hayes is the future. Period. Protests swelled outside USSF HQ. Rainbow flags waving beside stars and stripes. Even Tommy chimed in from Rehab PT, a video apology. Tear-streaked. Going viral. I was wrong. Josh showed grace I didn't deserve. Support him. The backlash? Vicious. Trolls flooded my mentions. Go back to Knitting Club. And Harlan surfaced on a conservative podcast. Voice oily, not hate. Just reality. Teams win with unity. Not experiments. His words stung. But they galvanized. Nowak called a press conference. Joshua Hayes starts for Qatar. End of story. Questions. Roster locked. We jetted to Doha. A fever of heat and history. Stadiums rising like miracles from desert sand. Acclimation camp was a grind. 110-degree drills. Iftar feasts blending cultures. Team bonds forging in the crucible. Teammates evolved. Weston, my penalty save hero, came out as by in a quiet huddle. Crediting my guts. Your fight gave me mine, he said. Fist bumping over chai. Alex flew in for the group stage opener against Wales. The Al Bayt Stadium attended wonder. 68,000 souls chanting anthems that raised goose flesh. Pre-game, nerves jangled like loose change. For Flint, I muttered, tapping my wrist, mom's tattoo idea. A soccer ball etched with dream big. For Alex, the locket under my kit with his initial. Kickoff, frenzy. Wales pressed. Their dragon fire relentless. But we countered, Pulisic's assist finding me in the box. One touch. Volley. Goal. 1-0. The American enclave exploded. Flags waving wild. Halftime tie. But second half, we poured on, my assist sealing 3-1. Post whistle. Alex mobbed me at midfield. His hug fierce amid the confetti storm. That's my guy, he yelled over the din. Cameras catching our joy unfiltered. Round of 16 against the Netherlands. A chess match of tiki-taka and grit. They led 2-1 at the hour. My miss-sitter haunting. Then, a free kick, curl high. Weston heading down. Chaos in the six. I pounced. Toe poke over the line. 2-2. Extra time agony. Penalties looming like guillotines. Nowak nodded. You take 5. The shootout was symphony and slaughter. Keepers diving. Balls whispering nets. Mine? 3rd. Low and lethal. We won 4-3. Pandemonium reigning. Interviews blurred. How's it feel? Joshua. Like home. Like winning for everyone who waited. Quarters against Brazil. Samba versus Stars. A clash of titans under floodlights that turned night to noon. They dominated possession. Neymar dancing rings. But our press suffocated. 0-0 slog till 89 till Briakovaj. My cross met by Reyna's header. 1-0. Hold. Hearts and throats. Final whistle, a roar that shook dunes. Semis, England. Old rivals in a cauldron of 80,000. Rain-slick pitch. Kane towering. But we struck first, my solo run. Chip over the keeper. 1-0. They equalized on a howler. Extra time, a war of attrition. Penalties again. I stepped up last. Score tied 4-4. The wait? Crushing. Family watching from afar. Alex's text burning. Breathe. You've got this. Run up blurred. Ball thump twine. 5-4. Finalists. The embrace with teammates was brotherhood distilled. Tears. Laughs. Nowak's gruff, not bad. Kid. The final. Argentina. Messi's farewell. A billion eyes on Luzail. Pre-game. Doha shimmered. Tension electric. Alex and I stole a moment in the tunnel shadows. Foreheads touching. His I love you a talisman. For us, I whispered. The match? Epic. Messi magic twice. But we answered. Pulisic equalizer. My 78th minute screamer from 25 yards. A rocket that silenced the world. 2-2 into extra time. Legs jelly. Lungs fire. Then, 118th minute. Foul on me in the box. Penalty. The stadium held its breath. Spot cradled. Messi staring daggers. I closed eyes, Doc missed. Alex's laugh. Harlan's faded sneer. For every kicked-out dream. Run. Strike. Saved? No, top shelf. Untouchable. 3-2. Clock ticked eternity. We held. Diving stops. Clearances off the line. Whistle. Champions. The pitch erupted. Confetti blizzard. Teammates piling. The cup hoisted under fireworks that painted the sky. I found Alex in the stands rush, pulling him down to the field. Our kiss lost in jubilation, a blur of lips and salt. The world cheering our truth. Post-victory haze, parades in D.C. Ticker tape down Pennsylvania. Mom weeping on the White House lawn. Harlan? Faded footnote. His podcast clip, mocked in memes. Tommy graduated, coaching youth league with inclusivity clinics. Alex and I, engaged under that same upstate dock. Ring simple silver. Vows whispered to the lake. Years on, retired at 32. Knee giving out after a Club World Cup glory. I coach at Michigan. Rainbow banners in the rafters. Alex beside me. Our adopted son cheering from the bleachers. Harlan's ghost? Banished. Love won. Not with fireworks, but quiet persistence. The human heart's unyielding play. In the end, it wasn't about beating the coach or joining America's team. It was claiming my field, cleats planted firm, loving fierce and free. And in that, we all score.